Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, sir and madam. Thank you for giving me time and place to deliver material about management in general. Let me introduce myself first. My name is Vierda Dwi Aprilia from Vierda University, Management Study Program, Faculty of Economics. In this presentation, I will bring materials about definition of management, what are the functions of management, a management levels, a manager skills, and also the role of management. First, I want to explain about definition of management. Management is a term that we hear often this day. In simple terms, management can be interpreted as an act or art of managing. More fully, management can also be interpreted as an art to manage or direct others in order to achieve the main goals of the organization or company. Through the process of planning, organizing, actuating, and controlling, the research need exists effectively and efficiently. In this case, efficient is defined as getting the expected result with the least input requirement, while effective is defined as the easiest and the fastest way to achieve goals. Then I will explain about functions of management. The management functions include several things, namely POAC. What is POAC? POAC, there are first P, planning. Planning is a management function which includes determining the direction of the company's goals, designing the strategies needed to achieve the state goals, and developing plans to coordinate the activities needed to implement the strategy. Planning is very important because without planning, all the required management functions will not work. In planning, there are several things that must be considered, namely, specific. It means a plan must have clear goals and objectives, including limitations on the scope of the goals to be achieved. Measurable. It means planning must have a measurable level of success so that its performance can be known both periodically and at the end the implementation period. Achievable. It means planning must include plans that can be achieved, not just fictitious. Realistic. It means planning must consider the capabilities and research on balance between the current state and the expectation for the future. Time. It means planning must have a clear deadline for completion, so that at the end of the day, an assessment and evaluation can be carried out to determine whether the implementation of the planning carried out has gone according to the expectation or not. 2. Organizing. Organizing is a management function when a manager organizes the work structure for each person, such as determining the tasks that must be done, the correct work process, and determining who will do the task. In companies, organization is usually arranged in the form of an organizational body or organizational structure, which is broken down into each position. 3. Actuating. Actuating is a function in management in the form of an action to ensure that the planning that has been carried out can be carried out in accordance with the expected goals. In the implementation function, effort to mobilize all people at the level of the organization are needed so that cooperation between all levels of the organization can be created. All members of the organization must be aware of the duties, responsibilities, and roles of each and carry it out as well as possible so that the expected goals can be achieved. 4. Controlling. Controlling is a management function that aims to make observation, assess performance in implementation, and take corrective action needed to improve organizational performance to achieve goals. Supervision has several main functions, including preventing deviation from planning, correcting errors in implementation, and taking action against abuse of power in the organization. Then I will explain about manager levels. Managers can be interpreted as organizational members who carry out management functions by coordinating and supervising the work of other workers so that they can achieve the expected organizational goals. Traditionally, levels of management or manager can be divided into three classifications, namely, first line manager is the lowest level in the classification of management. At this level of management, managers have the task of managing the work of workers outside the managerial level, which includes people who work in the field of production and customer service. In addition, first-line manager must also be responsible for the work of the employees. They lead the middle line managers. 2. Middle line managers is a level in the management classification that reach the level of first-line manager with the top managers. In addition, middle line managers are in charge of managing the work of first-line manager and are accountable to top manager. And then 3. Top manager is the highest level of management in the organization structure and has responsibility for making organizational decisions and preparing plans and goals to be achieved by the company. And then what is management skills? The higher the level of the manager, the expected output or result from their roles are more in the form of ideas, concepts, and plans, while the lower the level, the expected outputs are generally more in the form of actions or technical matters needed to ensure the running of the organization's operational activities or company. More fully, the required skills are divided into three, namely, technical skills is knowledge to the techniques and skills needed to carry out the work. Human skills is the knowledge and ability to work well with everyone, as well as build relationships with all levels of the organizations. Conceptual skills is the ability to express ideas and concepts regarding abstract and complex situations that must be faced by the organization as a unit. In the last, I want to explain about role of management. The role of management can basically be interpreted as an action or activity that must be carried out by managers in carrying out their duties to ensure that the goals of the company or organization can be achieved. In general, the role of management can be divided into three, namely, interpersonal roles. Interpersonal roles include the relationship between manager and those around them in order to carry out supervision and task direction. This role is further divided into three, namely, leader symbol. The manager's role as a symbol in event related to the company or organization. Leader. The manager's role as a leader who can provide examples and motivation to those around him, especially when there is a problem that requires immediate resolution. Liaison. The manager's role as a liaison between the internal parties of the company or organization with external interested parties. 3. The role of decision makers. The role of decision makers includes the ability of managers to make decisions, whether determined individually or based on joint decision, taking into account the goals of the organization or company, strategies, and available research. This role can be divided into four, namely, entrepreneurship. Yes, the role of managers in looking for opportunities in the organization and the environment and taking the initiative to initiate project need to create change for the better. Problem solving. The role of managers to be responsible for corrective action need by the organization or company when there is an important and unexpected disruption or error that affects the performance of the company or organization as a whole. Research allocation. Yes, the role of managers in making or approving organizational or company decision on the allocation of own research in order to achieve the expected goals optimally. Taking into account the principle of effective and effective allocation. Negotiator. The role of the manager in conducting the necessary negotiations to ensure the plans and strategies specified in the planning process can be implemented taking into account the interests of the parties concerned. Okay, thank you for your listening. May all this we have shared be beneficial for all of us. Thank you. See you next time in this next presentation.